Good morning, friends. Today is 27th of August 2018, and this is my third Dil Ki Baat. Today I'll speak to you about how in our country large land mafia operates, especially the builders and developers, how they perform. The builders have become very, very rich. That itself is a signal that they are making undue profit more than what is justifiable and frustrating the government's wish and efforts to give a roof under the sun to all the inhabitants of our country, that is Bharat, that is India. There are more than 50% of the people who are not having houses. Nearly or more than 30% or 40% of the people live in jhoppadpattis, and governments take pleasure to go and demolish their jhoppadpattis now and then. This is against human rights. This is against fundamental rights. While government pretends to provide housing to the people, the move is not done honestly. Very often, ministers and government servants join hand with the rich class, that is, landlords, large landlords, and builders, and twist their own laws and violate the laws and rules and regulations made by the politicians themselves. I have recently developed my small little land which has come to me from my forefathers. It was my wish to provide shelter to all my progeny, my children, separate shelter to each one of them. I have 4 children and we are 2. So I joined hands with a builder with a joint development agreement and permitted the builder to construct 12 flats, 6 for our family, 6 for his earnings. He had the right was given to him to sell 6 flats and 1 large shop. We got 50% of the developed area, that is 1 large shop and 6 flats. Ours was a Mulgani land belonging to the Catholic bishop. Now there is a huge conspiracy by the religious mafia as far as land possessed by them is concerned. They are in illegal possession of large tract of properties all over India. without having a title deed. They acquired these lands during British Raj, who were also Christians. They have joined hands with the priests and with the intention of converting people from Hinduism to Christianity, jointly worked and given lands, houses for the poor people who agreed to convert. The land was given to them as trustees, and the beneficiaries were supposed to be the poor people. More details about this I will talk in my next talk, but today I will confine myself to the land mafia of the developers, builders, chartered accountants, and lawyers. There is a conspiracy between these four who go around the world as very noble people with noble profession but perform the dirtiest criminal acts, cheating poor people, small landowners. You can't call them landlords because they're small people with small lands, 5 cents, 10 cents, 20 cents, given to them when they became Christian by the British government, and seeing the service given to the people by the priests, foreign priests, in health and in education field, many philanthropists and rich kings, there were a lot of kings in India. They were not born kings, they were criminals, cheaters. They cheated people and used force and acquired large lands, and they called themselves as kings. So when church developed, became very strong, they got majority people converted, their power increased many folds. So the kings had to cooperate with them, otherwise they could ask converted people to revolt against the rulers. Tipu Sultan, for example, arrested thousands of Christians because they came against his fight against Britishers and they supported Britishers, which was very improper on the part of the Christians. He imprisoned them and a lot of suffering followed. However, the strength of the church kept on increasing, and now today they are the richest landowners in India, and without a proper title deed. Now these developers are hand in glove with landlords like the church, the bishops, the priests, and acquire freehold rights by collecting 30% of the market value of the land, and make it, give a portion of the payment to the bishop. A certain percentage is shared by the lawyers, chartered accountants, and estate managers who work under the bishops. Religious outward show is only a show to fool the people. What these people do is nothing but corporate business, land mafia. For example, I have learned a lot of hidden secrets and the laws of RERA, GST, etc., who are the controlling authority for landlords, builders. Earlier, these things were also not there, so it was free for all business for the developers. RERA had come recently, GST has come also recently. Earlier, there was service tax and VAT. Now it is made into a single tax, we call it GST. Now when a land owner gives his land for development, the service tax and VAT tax clearly says that the flats given to the landowner, the tax should be paid by the builder because the landowner does not indulge in any activity, he doesn't create any value added property or give any service. He only allows the builder to build on his land. His contribution is only the land. Hence, there is no question of service tax or VAT to be paid by him. And the Act clearly says that the built up area in a building allotted to the landowner, the VAT and service tax has to be paid by the builder. Same law applies under GST, but by trapping the landowner into certain illegal agreements, illegal clauses, they trap the landowner and then demand and collect this amount from them. This amounts to quite huge amount, that is, nowadays it is 28% of the value or cost of selling the flats. 28% is quite a huge amount. Illegally it is collected and the department will orally tell you that you are not supposed to pay. They have given me a circular also saying that it is landlords, land developers, builders' legal duty to pay this amount. But if you ask this department in writing, they will not reply you. Orally, they will tell you, yes, you are not supposed to. But I have been able to collect the circulars connected with this, and I can prove in my next talk that it is illegal and therefore null and void clause in the agreement. It is unconsignable clause which can be challenged in the court. But challenging in the court is a very tough job. It will take years and years, and by that time you will be no more. So, out of sheer helplessness, I had compromised with my builder and paid him 68 lakhs towards GST, which was his responsibility. Secondly, and more importantly, the builder had signed an agreement with me saying, and it was a MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, where it was clearly mentioned that the freehold amount will be paid by the builder. That is 75 lakhs. The bishop has collected 75 lakhs, but paid to the, revealed to the government that he has collected only 22 lakhs. I will speak on that subject in my next talk. So it is a mafia between builder, landlord, that is work landlord holder, not the Mulgeni owner. I was the Mulgeni owner. This work or freehold owner, bishop, and the builder, and the chartered accountant, and the lawyers put together outright cheated me. I fought for 6 or 7 months, went to GST advance ruling court, but these lazy people, though the act says in 90 days they have to give a verdict, they never gave a verdict. I have completed 8 months after the appearing before the advance ruling council, but their order has not yet come. So I was forced in my own interest to pay GST and take possession, which I have just done. Now this I want all people, all smallholders who want to develop their land for their family's sake, want to know. They should know. This is my awareness campaign, and in the interest of the poor people, middle class people who are having a small land. Another huge fraud which is being played is when a flat is measured, it is not measured as per the carpet area, that is wall to wall, which was in existence earlier. Now that thing has gone, and these people, after measuring the carpet area, add 30% to cover up common area, that is galleries, car parks, and all that. So when we, a customer, a purchaser, or a landowner buys the place, or landowner will get a free allotment of his, but he is forced to pay GST even without buying. He pays GST on flats, but he is made to pay tax again on car parks. This taxation is illegal. This taxation is double taxation because the purchasers and the landowner has already paid the GST on the 30% common area added by them in the flats. So GST is already paid on these common areas, but they are made to pay again by way of GST on parking area. Now, parking area cannot be sold. That is again double profit. Parking areas 30% is included in the flat value, and the area, if it is 1000 square feet, it is shown as 1300 super built up area, and tax is already calculated and paid by the builder. But this is a mafia working. You cannot trust any of them. The developer, the chartered accountant, the lawyer, and the work land owner, they all join together and take their commission and loot the poor people and make them poorer to this extent. So I will make a movement of this cause so that more and more people get a shelter over their head. Enough for today. Thank you. Let's see how it has gone.